Yo guys, in this video I'm going to be discussing my personal hero wish list. I would love for them to get added to Marvel Rivals. Some of them are going to be tanks, some of them are going to be supports, but I'm not going to name a bunch of DPS characters because we have enough of those already. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Alright, to start things off with tank, what do I personally want as tanks in this game? And everyone's allowed to have their own wish list, and feel free to leave those down in the comment section. So my first tank suggestion I would love for them to add is Danny Rand. Unfortunately, we got Lin Lee in the game, and yeah, let's just say I'm a big Danny Rand fan, and I would absolutely love if they added him into the game. So how would he play different from Iron Fist is a question you guys probably will ask. And to me, most of the depictions of Danny Rand in like at least the animated series, he uses one fist for the most part, and he charges it up, gets the like the yellow flames around it. So in my opinion, I think he could play like a really cool mobile, like Doomfist style tank. That I think would be kind of sick. He could be a brawl tank also, where he could build up chi while punching someone, release it into a punch, kind of like Strange's like Maelstrom of Madness thing, but instead it's like a lighting up fist. I absolutely love Iron Fist. Well, Danny Rand Iron Fist. So yeah, I will absolutely adore, and I would one-trick Danny Rand if he got into this game as a tank or a vanguard. I would love that. So please give me Danny Rand. The next tank I would love for them to add to this game would be Ghost Rider. If Ghost Rider is anything other than a tank, I will probably uninstall this game. Ghost Rider is such a sick tank, and I would love for him to get added to the game. Another one, just to list some really cool just characters I feel like would just dominate as a tank. Thanos, Doctor Doom would be insane. Juggernaut, Colossus. The list goes on of just really cool Vanguard ideas in this game, and I feel like they should just add them in. I don't know what Vanguards they have in the works, but like, dude, just those characters alone would probably make tank really popular. All right, now it's time I talk about my main role. I'm gonna give you guys a little warning. A lot of these are just gonna be pretty unorthodox, and they're gonna be characters that don't traditionally heal, but the role isn't called healer, it's called strategist. So this is why I'm gonna name some characters that don't really heal, but they'll provide a lot of utility that hopefully isn't just left clicking their team to heal them. So let's get into that. So let's start things off with my personal favorite Marvel characters, which is Silk Spider and Spider-Gwen. Those two characters, if they get added to the game, it doesn't matter what role they are, but I prefer for them to be supports. But if they get added to the game, I'm sorry, I'm one-tricking those characters. I don't care. But assuming they are supports, what would I do to design them as a support in the game? I would personally love if they kept the same mobility as Spider-Man, like 3 swings that regen over time, the wall climb thing, literally everything that Spider-Man has for mobility, give the B-hop, give everything, but make it so that the primary fire instead operates kind of like Mantis's right click, which is like a initial burst heal and then a heal over time after, and then she could be a dive support, which would be really cool. And we don't really have a high mobility support like Lucio in the game yet that has super like tech that you can do to just express your skill on the character. This character, or like Spider-Gwen and Silk, could be a CC oriented support for utility. They could make it so that you shoot a web, it like kind of sticks people to a wall. They can group people together, maybe make it so that you could grab someone, or you can make it so that they can web their allies to pull them out of danger, kind of like Lifeweaver, and so that if your tanks get pulled off the map, you can pull them back as Spider-Gwen or Silk, and that could be her niche. That's personally what I would want as a support, and I would one-trick that character 1000%. You would never see me on another character. Please give me Spider-Gwen or Silk. I beg of you. Anyways, I'm gonna list some other characters, and I'll give you guys a little bit of like a kind of short TLDR of what those characters could do. Alright, to start things off with some other suggestions that I would personally love for them to add to support, I think Mysterio would make a pretty cool design for a character in support. They can make him more of a blind / vision blocking utility support. That would be pretty sick. Another one being Green Goblin. He can maybe drop like poison gas bombs or something on the floor to create an area of effect that all dive characters lose vision, or like they take damage in the area, or maybe they get anti-healed slightly, or like heal reduction slightly. There's things you can do to make Green Goblin a support character. Another one being Quicksilver, and Quicksilver could be a rescue style of support that he runs in, picks up his team, runs back. I know that probably would be kind of toxic because no one likes getting kidnapped on Jeff, even if it's your own team trying to save you. You can maybe make an opt-out feature, like if you use a mobility skill or something, or opt out of it, you can get out of it, so like throwers can't exactly just, you know, pick you off the map and stuff like that. Regardless, there are things you can do to make Quicksilver a really cool rescue styled support, like Lifeweaver or something. Another character that I think would be really cool to be a support, and I know they were in the files but they're not guaranteed yet, which is White Fox. It was leaked that she was going to be a melee oriented support, which I think would be really cool. And to add to more melee supports, I think Beast would be a really cool support as well. I know there's an argument for him to be a tank, but his whole like demeanor and character just screams support to me. Another support they could add could be Valkyrie, and she could be more like a Brig, like a backline peel styled support. A lot of the characters I am listing, I'm if you notice, I'm trying to get away from the spammy left click your team to heal support. So a lot of mobile supports, a lot of melee supports, stuff like that. Just something to breathe life into the role and give people something to be excited for again when queuing and playing for playing the game. Some other characters I just think would be pretty cool, and they're more low-key, but I think they would still do a lot of work to make the role more fun. You can make Shang-Chi a support. You can make it so that his rings and stuff go through and allies and stuff to do damage boost, maybe speed boost. Like, you can offer different things to Shang-Chi to make him so that he works as a support. You can get, because if you only watch the Shang-Chi film, you'd be like, oh, well, he just looks like a damage character because all he does is damage. If you look at the comics, a lot of what he does, he has a lot of different things that he can do with his rings, and you can utilize that and implement that into the game, and you can make it a pretty high skill thing. Like, let's say you attach one ring to someone and it gives damage boost or speed boost or something, or damage reduction, something like that. Or if you hit an enemy or something, it gives anti-heal. You can make it so that it's a pretty complex system where you choose your effect for the rings. That could be a thing. Another character that I think would work really well as a support could be like Ironheart. There could be Kitty Pryde, Jubilee. Like, the list goes on as far as supports go that would just be really, really fun to have in the game. And right now, honestly, I'm just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks. Aqua could be pretty cool as well. Just something to add to the role to give it life. Polaris. There's just a lot of different characters that I would love to see in the role that they don't have to traditionally heal in lore for them to make sense as a support in the game. The role, again, isn't called healer, it's called strategist or support in most games. So with that being said, those are the top suggestions that I have for support in this game. Alright, that's going to do for this video. If you guys have heroes that are on your wish list that you guys would love to see get added to the game, I would love to see your suggestions down below. So feel free to comment. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.